Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. We are continuing the same chapter, Hajj and rulings related with the Hajj. And then, if time permitting, meaning this chapter is made of three topics: Hajj and Jihad and defending, meaning defending your wealth, your soul, or your honor. Rules related with that. So we haven't completed the Hajj one. It is the page number 76, if I'm not wrong. 77. Okay, page number 77. I think it starts from there. وَمَنْ حَجَّ بِالْمَالِ الْحَرَامِ يُعِيدُهَا كَذَلِكَ مُرْتَدٌ أَنَابَ بِأَوْكَدِي. Yes, want to read few biyut.
من حج بمال الحرام يعيدها كذلك مرتد أناب بأوكدي وللرفث اهجر والفسوق وهكذا الجدال وأقلل من كلامك تحمدي ومكة بالتفصيل أولى وعنه بل مدينة خير الخلق مثوى محمد وكلتا يديك ارفع لرؤية كعبة معظمة عليا وكبر ومجدي ونادي بقلب خاشع متضرعا بما شئت من كل الدعاء غير معتدي وسله قبول الحج والعفو وادعه وكبر وهلل في محاذاة أسودي.
Okay, let's start. Bismillah. ومن حج بالمال الحرام يعيدها كذلك مرتد أناب بأوكدي. And now he's talking about مبتلات الحج, meaning things that invalidates the Hajj, according to the opinion of the author or the poet. Things that... Okay, Bismillah. Now the author is talking about the مبتلات الحج, meaning things that invalidates the Hajj altogether, according to the opinion of author. He's saying وَمَنْ حَجَّ, and he mentioned two things. One is al-Hajj bil-Mal al-Haram, meaning someone is offering the Hajj with illegal income, with income that is illegal. So the one who performs the Hajj with the Mal al-Haram, yu'iduha. So the poet is saying that he needs to repeat it thereafter, meaning his responsibility is not fulfilled, and because he done Hajj with the illegal income, so thereafter he needs to make tawbah, and whenever he has the means with the halal income, he has to repeat the Hajj. وَهَكَذَا كَذَلِكَ مُرْتَدٌ. So another person who has to repeat his Hajj, according to the opinion the author holds, or the poet, is murtad, meaning Nauzubillah, someone apostated or left the religion of Islam. Anaba, and then he made tawbah thereafter. So let's say someone performed the Hajj, okay, and then he forsaken the religion or left the religion. Is that clear now? So he did Hajj in a state of Islam, then Nauzubillah became murtad, and then made tawbah and came back to Islam again. So he's saying murtadun anaba bi'awkadi. A murtad who has made tawbah and came back to the fold of Islam, he has to repeat the Hajj. Because why he has to repeat? Because after performing Hajj, he left the religion. So the opinion is basis that all of his good deeds are nullified. And so let's come to the first point. I mean, the first one, he said someone doing Hajj with haram income. As for the haram income, obviously it's not good to perform Hajj with haram income. There's a famous hadith that in which Prophet ﷺ said, when a person does Hajj with proper intention, bimalin halal, with legal income, goes for the Hajj, and he starts making talbiyah, meaning when he puts the ihram on and said labbaik Allahumma labbaik, nada munadi min as-sama. So an angel will respond to his labbaik. And an angel, it doesn't say angel, nada munadi min as-sama. A caller responds from the heavens and saying labbaik wa sadaik. Okay, your labbaik is appreciated and وَحَجُّكَ مَبْرُورٌ, meaning yes, you're coming and your efforts in order to perform the Hajj is appreciated and your Hajj is mabrur. وَزَادُكَ halal, and your provision is from halal. So meaning positive response come back when a person goes for the Hajj with proper intention, halal income, and he said labbaik wa Allahumma labbaik, then a caller, meaning calls from the heaven saying yes, your attendance is appreciated, your Hajj is accepted. On the other hand, it says, the hadith goes on to say that if a person performs the Hajj with haram income, when hajja bimalin haram, so whenever he says labbaik, okay, a caller from the heaven says la labbaik wa la sadiq, your labbaik and your talbiya, nothing is appreciated, and وَحَجُّكَ مَالُكَ haram وَحَجُّكَ غَيْر mabrur, because your provision that you are using is haram, so your Hajj is mazur, meaning you don't get any reward from the Hajj, rather you may be held responsible that you messed up with something important. Your Hajj is not valid mabrur, you may be held responsible. Then why, meaning, yes, why you didn't give due importance and due concern to this important pillar of Islam. Okay, and there's another hadith, I'll come to you, let me complete. There's another hadith as well that says in Sahih Muslim, I think, if I'm not wrong, that Prophet ﷺ said, a person undertakes the journey and does all the hard work, disheveled, and his cloth and body is covered with the dust, and he raised his hand saying, Ya Rab, Ya Rab. Okay, and the answer is, Mat'amuhu haram, his provision is from haram, his ghiza, food and clothing is from haram, so how his dua is going to be accepted? So from here, the author has made and that is the opinion of some scholars. However, the other opinion says that the Hajj is okay, the Hajj is fine, he will be sinful for using haram money. And this opinion looks more appropriate. For example, if you are offering prayer in a land that you have illegally occupied, let's say that is the land of your neighbor, and you build a room or house there, illegal, and you're doing righteous deed, you're performing some prayers therein, sometimes going to the mosque, some other prayers, nafil prayers. So the scholars give the example that this has nothing to do with the prayer itself, but yes, you'll be sinful to occupying or taking someone's land illegally. That is another sin, but nothing had to do with your prayer that you are doing there. So I think this opinion is more appropriate. Yes, any question?
Yeah, question. So for example, somebody has a haram income, and then the person wants to send his parents for the Hajj, and the parents has good intentions for the Hajj, and parent doesn't know whether it's haram or halal, right? In that case, what's the rule?
In that case, I mean, we said that the second opinion is appropriate one, that his Hajj is fine, but he will be sinful for using haram income. So here it is more so, because they, as you said, the parent doesn't know, so it's not their fault or their sin. So the sin will be upon the son who is making them do Hajj through haram income. Okay, come to the second point. He said, as for the murtad, meaning someone done Hajj and then apostated and then made tawbah and came back to Islam, so he made the statement that he has to do the Hajj again, provided that he meets the conditions thereafter. Okay, where is the dalil for him? The dalil is the saying of Allah, وَمَنْ يَرْتَدِ مِنْكُمْ عَنْ دِينِهِ فَيَمُتْ وَهُوَ كَافِرٌ فَأُولَٰئِكَ حَبِطَتْ أَعْمَالُهُمْ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ. Pay attention, meaning, yes, to what this ayah is saying. مَنْ يَرْتَدِ مِنْكُمْ دِينِهِ, anyone who commits irtidad, anyone who leaves Islam, and then he dies in the state of kufr. Okay, so أُولَٰئِكَ حَبِطَتْ, so good deed that they have done while they were Muslims will become worthless. أُولَٰئِكَ حَبِطَتْ أَعْمَالُهُمْ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ. And they are the people of hellfire. Na'uzubillah, they remain in for, how do you say, eternal, for good. Okay, here from this ayah, and meaning author and those who hold the same opinion, meaning this is the dalil. But there is a issue, meaning this ayah says those who have apostated and died in a state of kufr. We are talking about someone made tawbah and came back to Islam. The whole case is different. Now we are saying someone did Hajj, then apostated, and then made tawbah and came back to the fold of Islam. So here the ayah meaning is talking about someone who apostated and died upon kufr, didn't make tawbah, didn't came back to Islam. So his good deeds that he did while he was Muslim, obviously, because yes, innamal a'malu bil khawatim. A person will be judged according to the deeds that he did in his later part of the life. Yes, al-a'malu bil khawatim. Someone was righteous, even Islam practicing, last a year or so, yes, he messed up and died, then this is a sign of a bad ending. Okay, so the correct opinion looks like this. Because this person has made tawbah and came back to Islam, so all the good deeds that he did previously when he was Muslim, he will be rewarded for. Because he made amendments. If a person, na'uz billah, after becoming murtad, dies upon the kufr before coming back again to Islam, then obviously his deeds that he did while he was Muslim will be of no avail, no benefit. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, and then he's saying وَلِلرَّفْثِ أُهْجُرْ وَالْفُسُوقِ وَهَكَذَا الْجِدَالِ, meaning he's saying while you're in the Hajj, refrain from rafath, وَلِلرَّفَثِ, sorry, وَالْفُسُوقِ and jidal. And these three things these three things have been mentioned in the Quran as well. فَمَنْ فَرَضَ فِيهِنَّ الْحَجَّ فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. Once you get into the Hajj and you have made the meaning, yes, you have made the intention and you initiated the rituals of the Hajj, then you have to avoid all these things. فَلَا رَفَثَ, no sexual activities or other activities that may lead to that, like hugging, kissing and those. So it includes both the real activity and the other action that has connection with this one or may have the potential to lead, like I mentioned, the kissing, hugging and those things. So meaning a person is not allowed even with his, obviously no one is allowed with someone else other than spouse, but Hajj is not allowed even with his legal spouse during the state of Ihram. Al-Fusuq and the acts of disobedience, meaning they are haram, not during the Ihram time, Hajj time, all the time, but they become more haram or more serious during the Hajj, because you are now in a state of ibadah, you have initiated ibadah. Like we say for the fasting person, he needs to avoid lying and falsehood, all they are haram, even a person fasting or not, but yes, they become more serious while a person is fasting. So he has to avoid fusuq. وَهَكَذَا الْجِدَالُ فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ, and no jidal. Okay, jidal is of two types. One is, jidal means argument. Okay, one is argument for personal reason and argument bil batil, meaning you are arguing with someone for personal issues. So obviously Haji needs to avoid in a state of ihram. But if you are arguing with someone, meaning you are enjoining good and forbidding evil and debating or proving your point and saying someone that look what you are doing is wrong. For example, you are touching the walls around the grave of Prophet ﷺ and you are making dua, asking something directly from the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, if you are, let's say if you are stating ihram, or not only that one, in the Makkah if you see someone, or during the journey if you see someone doing something wrong, that is also called jidal, but that is fine. That is enjoining good. You are not doing jidal for your own reason. You are doing jidal with the intention to correct someone, enjoin good and forbid evil. وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. What jidal is prohibited is the argument and how do you say quarreling? Yes, dispute for personal issues or worldly issues. Okay, they are wrong more so during the Hajj time. وَأَقْلِلْ مِنْ كَلَامِكَ تُهْمَدِي, and speak, reduce your speech, meaning speak when it is necessary or when you want to say something good. Okay, that is required all the time, but more so during the Hajj, because your focus should be ibadah. Okay, now he's talking about Makkah and Medina. Which one is more virtuous city? Is there Makkah or Medina? Scholars have differed and the books have been compiled on this issue. Okay, some books have been compiled Some scholars prove that is Makkah and a lot of dalil they give, and some other people say, Walaikum Salam. Some other scholars say it is Medina, more sacred land than Makkah, and they have their own dalil. And as I said, some books have been compiled in this regard. But the correct opinion looks like the Makkah is, yes, more virtuous, more sacred than Medina, because of the house of Allah and because of the mashayir or sha'air. Sha'air means Safa, Marwa, Arafah, Muzdalifah, all these. And that was the first house built by Ibrahim alayhi salam. And our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, while leaving Makkah and migrating, what did he say? He turned towards Makkah and he said, Innaki ahabbul biladi ilayya. You are the most beloved land on the earth. And had the people not forced me or made things harder to me, I wouldn't have left. So all this tells us that the Makkah is more virtuous than Medina. Obviously Medina is the second. And the prayer again, the prayer in the Haram is 100,000 better. And prayer in Masjid Nabawi, 1,000. How many years you needed to pray 1,000 prayers? 83 or something. Subhanallah. See, those people who go for Umrah and Hajj, yes, these things should be in mind. One prayer is better than 83 years of the prayers. Rarely you live 83 or people live 83 or so. And if you are staying there for a week, 20 days, 15 days, then imagine, that's the one prayer. So let's say if a person is staying there in Makkah 10 days and praying all 50 prayers there, see how much reward he will get. Okay, let's carry on. وَمَكَّةُ بِالتَّفْضِيلِ أَوْلَى وَأَنْهُ بَلْ مَدِينَةُ خَيْرُ الْخَلْقِ مَثْوَى مُحَمَّدٍ. And how much you will get reward in Masjid Nabawi? 1,000. Okay? 1,000. Yes, it means you pray 100 prayers in Masjid Nabawi and one prayer in Haram. Okay, so one prayer in Haram is equivalent to 100 prayers in Masjid Nabawi. So all this tells us that the Makkah is more sacred and more virtuous city. Okay, وَمَكَّةُ بِالتَّفْضِيلِ أَوْلَى, meaning giving, giving or saying the Makkah is more virtuous is the correct opinion, أَوْلَى. وَأَنْهُ بَالْمَدِينَةِ. And there's another opinion from the Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. He's followers of Imam Ahmad ibn, but not blindly follower. Another opinion says that the Medina is better. Bal Madinatu khairul khalqi mathwa, because of the grave of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because his body is there. Okay, but as I said, the correct opinion is the first one. Wakilta yadayk, and obviously Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam made dua for Medina as well. He said, "Oh Allah, Ibrahim made alayhi salam made Makkah haram. I'm making Medina haram." So that's why it is called Haramain. Haram Makki and Haram Madini. And the what we said, yes, in the pre-Islamic period, how do you say Abu Hawa?
Environment.
It's not environment. Yes, something atmosphere. Meaning, yes, the environment or atmosphere, I'm not sure which one is. Wasn't that good of Medina. People used to get sick very easily. People used to get sick very easily. So when Prophet ﷺ and Muhajirin came, migrated to Medina, some of the companions fall ill. And then Prophet ﷺ made dua and he said, "Oh Allah, remove the bad health issues from Medina to Jaffa and some other cities." And yes, he made dua. He said, as Ibrahim al-Islam made Makkah haram, I'm making Medina haram. And Allah made Medina beloved to us, because the Muhajirin were missing the Makkah and they missing the valleys and the surroundings of Makkah and so on and so forth. Okay, now we are talking about which one is better. They both are virtuous, but Makkah has edge over Medina. Okay, وَكِلْتَا يَدَيْكَ إِرْفَى لِرُؤْيَةِ كَعْبَةٍ. He's saying when you see the Kaaba the very first time, when you're traveling, raise your both hands مُعَظَّمَةٍ أُولِيَا وَكَبِّرْ وَمَجِّدِ. Raise your both hands up and say Allah Akbar wa Majidi and glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, وَنَادِ بِقَلْبٍ خَاشٍ. As for the thing that he has mentioned, that the first time you see Kaaba, raise your both hands and make dua, I'm not sure. I think it's not been mentioned authentic hadith. The authentic hadith says that, yes, obviously you say the dua before entering the Kaaba and you raise your hand once you start the tawaf, okay, pointing towards what we say, Hajr Aswad. If kissing and touching is not possible. If kissing and touching not possible, then you say Allah Akbar and you make the dua. Which dua you say? Allahumma imanam bika. Yes. Wa tasdeeqam bi kitabika wa wafam bi ahdika wa ittiba'an li sunnati nabiyyika. Okay, further he is saying that looking the Kaaba is ibadah as well. That's also scholar didn't like. They say there is no authentic hadith to say that looking towards the Kaaba is act of worship. Obviously, Kaaba is the house of Allah built by Ibrahim alayhi salam, and it has what we say many rulings and many special things. But there is not, meaning it's not has been mentioned authentic hadith. To make a statement, you need a dalil. To say that you will get rewarded just by looking to the Kaaba itself, you need to have a dalil. Okay, وَنَادِ بِقَلْبٍ خَاشٍ مُتَضَرِّيًا. He's saying once you see Kaaba, raise your hand, make dua, and وَنَادِ بِقَلْبٍ خَاشٍ, make dua with an attentive heart, and the heart that is showing humiliation. And ask whatever, بِمَا شِئْتَ مِنْ كُلِّ dua, meaning ask anything, any dua that you want, anything that you need, ask غَيْرَ مُعْتَدِي, but don't transgress. Okay, we've been told to make dua, but we've been prohibited from going beyond the limits. Okay, what going beyond the limits means? Sometimes you see people try to make sentences like ending on a particular, how do you say, rhymes. Okay, or ask something that is not appropriate. Transgressing in the dua is, yes, instead, meaning let the dua come flow naturally. Meaning you ask something that you are really in need. But if you are trying to choose words and particular rhymes and so on and so forth, or asking something that is unreasonable. For example, you're asking to make me king of the world, and yes, something that is that may not happen. Okay, or asking something that is sinful. Okay, asking something to be given which is haram upon you, for example. So these are the transgressions, that's what he's saying, and avoid committing, going beyond the boundaries while making the dua. Okay, وَاسْأَلْهُ قُبُولَ الْحَجِّ, and while you are in the Hajj, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of your dua should be is to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept your Hajj. Okay, so don't, rely or don't be overconfident that you made effort and so on and so forth, and you did journey, and meaning, yes, a believer is always between fear and hope. You don't despair, have good thoughts about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but at the same time you cannot be certain. Ibrahim alayhi salam was raising building the house of Allah, and at the same time he was concerned about the acceptance, saying Rabbana taqabbal minna. And our righteous scholars, whenever they used to perform some deed, they were concerned whether, or worried whether it's going to be accepted or not, whether they have done in an appropriate way or not. So that's what he's saying, keep asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept your Hajj, wal afwa, and ask forgiveness, wad'uhu, and keep making dua, keep calling or invoking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa kabbir, and during your tawaf and during the state of ihram, keep saying Allahu Akbar, and keep saying La ilaha illallah, fi muhadati aswadi, especially say Allahu Akbar La ilaha illallah when you are parallel to Hajr Aswad. Okay, that's what we say, Bismillah Allahu Akbar, and then you start your tawaf. Okay, وَنَدْبٌ لَهُ أَن يَدْخُلَ الْبَيْتَ حَافِيًا. He's saying it is recommended to enter the house of Allah barefooted. Okay, now yes, because it is what we say carpeted and marble, so so enter barefooted. But what at that time? When it was humble, at the time of Prophet ﷺ. So yes, because we find that most of the time companion Prophet ﷺ used to pray with the sandals or with the shoes on. Yes, on one occasion he took his shoes off and all the Jama'ah took their shoes off. And when he completed his prayer, he said, "What's wrong with you people? You're having your sandals next to you." So they said, "We saw you doing, we did." He said, "Okay, there was some reason for me. I mean, my shoes were not clean, and I've been informed after I initiated the prayer. Jibreel informed me." And not only this, there are hadith that says, pray in those, because Jews and Christian people of book, they don't. Okay, anyway, one does not deliberately try to come with the shoes and enter the carpet and make it dirty or so. Okay, but at the same time, if you are praying like janazah prayer in the park or community center or so, yes, there you have got the chance to act upon the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. There's no reason. I mean, in that case, it is good to pray. Here is the chance to practice the sunnah of Prophet ﷺ. Okay, let's move ahead. وَيَرْمُقُهُ مَسْتَطَاعَ ثُمَّ بِطَرْفِهِ وَيُكْثِرْ فِعْلَ الْإِئْتِمَارِ وَيَجْهَدِ. And he is saying, وَيَرْمُقُهُ, keep looking to the Kaaba as much as you can. Okay, look, ثُمَّ بِطَرْفِهِ وَيُكْثِرْ. But as I said, looking just is not an act of worship, and we don't find what we say authentic dalil. وَيُكْثِرْ فِعْلَ الْإِئْتِمَارِ وَيَجْهَدِ. And يُكْثِرْ فِعْلَ الْإِئْتِمَارِ, meaning perform umrah as much as you can. But what it means, يُكْثِرْ فِعْلَ الْإِئْتِمَارِ? Obviously, doing umrah on regular basis is good because of the hadith in which Prophet ﷺ said, sins committed between one umrah to another are expiated. You did umrah, let's say 20 years ago, and you're going to do another umrah, so the minor sin that committed between these two umrah are expiated. But yes, but not doing too many umrahs in one journey, one day also. Okay, what he's saying, yukthir, increase the umrah or do a umrah regular basis. It doesn't mean that in one journey you do. Okay, because you don't find the Prophet ﷺ companion, when they used to go, they would perform number of umrahs on the same journey. You find some people are doing so. They get part of the this shaved, another part for another umrah, and so on and so forth. Yes, that's not the sunnah. Obviously, if you're going, for example, Hajj, going Makkah first, and then going Medina, and then coming back again to Makkah, let's say, then yes, you can do another umrah, because now your journey was set in that way. You didn't go Medina with the intention that you will come back and do another umrah. That's how your journey was planned. Okay, but going to Masjid Aisha and doing number of umrahs, that's not from the sunnah. Okay, Prophet ﷺ let Aisha do umrah from Masjid Aisha, Masjid Tanim. That's why it's called Masjid Aisha. But there is a particular reason. She was in period and she missed her umrah. People were going back with umrah and Hajj, and she was going back with just Hajj. Okay, so she asked Prophet ﷺ, and then Prophet ﷺ said to her brother Abdurrahman to take her and to the Tanim, and then from there she performed Ihram and Umrah. So she had a particular reason why she went to Tanim and did Umrah or Ihram from therein. So if someone is in that situation, yes, they can do Umrah. Is it clear now? But other companions, they didn't do. They didn't do second Umrah in that way. Okay, let's move ahead. وَمِن زَمْزَمَ فَاشْرَبْ, and drink from the Zamzam water. Bima sheta, and make intention, whatever, meaning make a will, and your will be granted. Okay, regarding drinking Zamzam, meaning you drink Zamzam once you complete your tawaf and do 2 rakah, then go to wherever the water is available and drink as much as you can. And randomly you can drink. And there are some hadiths which says that when you drink Zamzam, try to drink more, meaning more than you you need. For example, your thirst is gone after drinking 1 cup or so, but it is good to drink more. And some hadiths also say that pour water over your body, I think your head or so. Okay, and then he's saying make a will or make a wish, and it will be granted. Where is the dalil? Yes, there is dalil in authentic hadith in which Prophet ﷺ said, Ma'u zamzam lima shuriba lahu, meaning you drink zamzam with a particular wish you have, and inshallah it will be fulfilled or granted. And there's a number of stories that some of the Salaf used to go with a particular wish, and yes, Hafiz ibn Hajar, when he went to Umrah or Hajj, he drank water and he made dua that Allah should be given this or given that, and most of his wishes came true, or dreams came true. Okay, any other blessing of the Zamzam water apart from this, meaning your wishes or your dreams or your duas? Good for health, yes, good for health, and it is water and food as well at the same time. Meaning if you drink while you are thirsty, your thirst is gone. If you drink while you are hungry also, it will purpose or serve, yes, like you are taking food also. Walaikum salam. And Abu Zar Ghifar radiallahu anhu, for few days he was traveler and survived upon the Zamzam water. And he said, I put on some weight because he was a traveler, and yes, at that particular time people were against Prophet ﷺ and Muslims, so he didn't want to disclose his intention why he came. So he was just drinking Zamzam water until Ali radiallahu anhu, Abu Bakr came to his help, and they became his host. Okay, and he's saying, Wasam may say Bismillah before drinking, Wasal ma tabtaghi, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whatever you want, and you'll be given. Watazawwadi, and one of the sunnah is to take Zamzam water back to your country, to your city, and you can give people. So that is sunnah from that time as a gift. Yes, I mean the companions, time of Prophet ﷺ. So this is a continuous sunnah, meaning whenever someone goes for the Hajj, they bring this water and give people as a gift. In India, they mix with normal water because they have many friends or many people to give. Meaning you are allowed to only bring 10, 12, maximum 20 liters or so, and the relatives or friends are so many.
Regarding ruling of drinking Zamzam water. So normal ruling is you sit and drink water, right? This is for every normal ruling. So I have seen like people are asking when you're drinking Zamzam water, the standing, and is that true, or what's the ruling on that?
What's really on that? I mean, Prophet ﷺ drank Zamzam water by standing. He drank Zamzam water by standing. So the ruling, I think, is nothing to do with the Zamzam water. I mean, it is better to drink water by sitting, but still you are allowed to drink by standing. So normal water also, he or companions drank standing, even though it is better to drink by sitting. So, and however, if you drink standing, that's also okay. So you find Prophet ﷺ drank this water and the other water as well. So it is nothing special, I think, for Zamzam. That
people use of the Zamzam because the hadith that mentioned that,
specified.
yeah, that he drank Zamzam standing because that time he was doing, I think he was in Hajj or Umrah at the time.
and
But they said the reason why he was standing because there was no easy place for him to sit.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, so the answer is the same. That there's, meaning the ruling, there's no specific ruling for Zamzam. The same rules apply. Drink sitting Zamzam water, normal water is fine, or you drink Zamzam water, normal water by standing, that's also okay, even though by sitting is. Yes, maybe the space was not there, or he was, what we say, because of the crowd or something.
People are sitting and they stand up.
I mean, deliberately don't have to. Or if you think that by drinking Zamzam water by standing is more virtuous, that's wrong. The same rules apply for
That's the
non.
main thing. Okay, they stand and they face the Qibla and then drink the Zamzam.
So they're sitting down. If you're standing, that's different. They're sitting down, but they'll especially stand.
Yeah, that's what they think because of the hadith. They think drinking Zamzam water by standing has special. Okay, let's move and then we stop the lesson, inshallah. وَإِنْ the خُرُوجٍ تُفْ تَوَافَ مَوَدِّ. And he's saying when you finish your Hajj or Umrah and you're leaving, you need to do tawaf wida, tuf tawaf mawaddi, farewell tawaf. Okay, for anyone who has gone for Umrah and Hajj, so when he's leaving Makkah, he has to do the last thing should be the tawaf. That's called farewell tawaf. Waqif ba'du bayn al-bab wa rukni turshadi. After you have completed your tawaf, stand between the door and the Hajr Aswad. Qif ba'du bayn al-bab wa rukni. Stand between Rukn Aswad, where the Hajr Aswad is, and the door. So you find here is the Hajr Aswad, for example, this is the one corner, and here is the door. So the space between the door and Hajr Aswad is called multazam. So you can cling to the house of Allah and make dua. And scholars have said that this is the only space where you are allowed to, how do you say, cling to the, and hold the gilaf or touch the walls. If during the Hajj time they lift the gilaf up, so there is no gilaf, but still you are allowed to touch the walls and touch your chest and make dua. So that is called multazam, between Hajr Aswad and the door. As for the other areas, other parts of it, it's not from the Sunnah. It's not apart from the Sunnah to touch or try to touch the wall or the gilaf with your chest or with your hands. And which part we are allowed to touch? The Hajr Aswad and Rukn Yamani, or the third place is this, between the Hajr Aswad and the door, which is called multazam. Okay, وَنَادِ قَرِيمًا قَدْ دَعَى وَفْدَهُ إِلَى جَوَائِزِهِ فِي بَيْتِهِ فَدُوا وَجْهَدِهِ. And make dua. Nadi Kareeman mean call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is generous. Ask him because you are his guest and you delegate. Meaning he called people for the Hajj and you have responded to his call. So ask him to reward. Meaning the last tawaf, especially when you are going back to home, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to not deprive you from the reward of the Hajj. Fadu, make dua, wajhadi, and exert your, how do you say? Meaning make serious effort making dua. وَقُلْ يَا إِلَهِ قَدْ أَتَيْنَاكَ نَرْتَجِي. And say, oh Allah, we came, nartaji mawaida said, we came hoping for your reward or the promise that you have made. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is generous. So if everything, all the conditions are met and a person has done Hajj and made effort, then Allah is not going to let down any of his slave, or not going to deprive anyone from his mercy. وَهَذَا مَقَامُ الْمُسْتَجِيرِينَ مِنَ اللَّذَى. And this is the place where people seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the hellfire. And imagine how many people have passed the area when you are doing Hajj or when you are touching the multazam. Okay, when you are doing tawaf and sa'i, from the time of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam until now, billions of Muslims and good Muslims have done those rituals before you. And all the prophets, Musa alayhi salam, and all the prophets, especially from the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Okay, and keep saying Ya Mannan Ya Zattaghammudi, meaning the one who does the favor and the one who envelopes his slaves in his mercy. Bi'aunika jena fawqa kulla musakhirin. With your help we managed to come. Bi'aunika means with your help we managed to come. Fawqa kulla musakhirin, meaning using all means of transportation that have been subjected to human being. Meaning it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given control over the animals and yes, plane and all those things. Sometimes you see how big the camel is and elephants also, meaning how powerful they are physically. And human being controls them. One person controls a big fat, even elephant. So it had not been, had not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given us the control over them, we would not have been able. Okay, even some animals you see, they are uncontrollable. Some animals are uncontrollable. Some of them they have made it to serve human being. What about the snakes? Some people say no matter how much you feed or how much you this and that, look after, okay, they cannot be domesticated. They will bite you whenever they can.
In Pakistan, you can domesticate.
Snakes?
Yeah.
What do you mean domesticated?
Yeah.
They don't.
You put them on your neck and
It is, but they are those one which cannot bite on, or they don't have poisonous one. Cobra, for example, no matter how much food you give or milk every time, they are made such a, created such a way that the fitra cannot be changed. They will attack and they will bite. Many people you see on the YouTube, they look after and they put the snakes in, and what happens? If they are not alert or sometimes they get attacked and they get bitten. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had created horse and animals and camels in that way, no one could have taken any benefit from them. So that's what it means. Subhanalladhi sakhkhara lana hadha wa ma kunna lahu muqrinin wa inna ila rabbina lamunqalibun. Okay, let's finish. What he's saying that yes, when you are doing tawaf and making dua, say Amanu Sayr, this is the time to go back. And he's saying we're not going back out of our own choice. Meaning now you have fulfilled, you have responsibilities, you have children, and so you're not going back home and leaving the Kaaba. Yes, because you have no interest, Nauzubillah. Meaning every believer wants to stay there or be close to Makkah, but it's not possible for everyone. So that's what he's saying in the following. Firaq istirarin la firaq zahadatin, meaning we are leaving because we are forced to do so. It's not that we have no interest in staying there or no interest in the house of Allah. No, meaning we still love and we still want and we still want to stay there and get the benefit and reward for the prayer, but we are forced to. Even if you want, they don't let you stay there. Let's say someone hasn't got anything to do back in his country, no children, no family, but still you can't stay there. If you are caught, they will deport you straight away. Okay, one of the other dua that you should make, La taj'al alanhu akhir al-ahd. Say, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't make this last, what we say, mean this, don't make this, this chance the last one. Meaning give us more chance to come for Umrah and Hajj. وَلَا تَجْعَلْنَهُ آخِرَ الْعَهْدِ بَيْنَنَا وَهَوِّنْ عَلَيْنَا السِّيرَ فِي كُلِّ فَتْوَةٍ. And because now we are going to travel back, so make our journey easy. Make our journey easy. So he's telling us what dua should be made during the last tawaf that you are making. And ask everything that you need from the deen and dunya. And yes, so we'll stop here. The next one is the etiquettes of visiting the mosque of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he goes for the jihad.
The etiquettes of
Visiting the mosque of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sorry.
okay, in Medina, okay.
Mosque of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said mosque. And then he speaks about the rules related to the. Okay, any question? Yes, Ali.
Do all the rulings regarding the haram money in Hajj, they relate to Umrah as well?
Yes, Umrah is also ibadah. I mean, for everything, even if you're not going for Hajj and Umrah, let's say for your normal provision, one should avoid haram. But because this is ibadah, so you should avoid even more so.
One question regarding the conclusion on praying with shoes. Is that a sunnah you're saying, or we shouldn't pray at all?
No, I'm saying according to the situation. If the situation allows you to pray, then it is sunnah to pray. Because that is the only chance that you, only opportunity to act upon this, practice the sunnah of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Like you're praying janazah in a park. Okay? Obviously in the mosque, as I said, it is carpet and clean also, and people won't, the management won't allow you. And plus the carpet may get so only place where you can practice the sunnah is community center, like because it is wooden, or in the park. So there you should deliberately perform your janazah prayer in your shoes, because that is the only occasion when you can act upon the command of the Prophet, sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But obviously in the mosque, yes, as I said,
So is this for janazah or for every prayer?
any prayer, any prayer. Plus, you have to see whether your shoes are comfortable or not. For example, if you're sitting in the tashahhud and your shoes is hard one or so, you have to take many things into account. Yes, it's not just a practice and you lose your khushu. Okay, your intention is to practice sunnah, and focus is even more important. So you have to take many things to. Yes.
When you mentioned about additional umrahs and stuff, well, people that have parents that have passed away, can you make additional umrahs for them? Or is the reward obviously with the person that is doing it anyway for their parents?
I think you can do. If you have gone for Hajj and you want to do from your parents who passed away, I think that is fine. Because you're not doing for yourself number of umrah, you're doing on behalf of others. I think that is the fatwa in Islamic view as well. Okay, subhanakallah bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.